Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Sales teams, when nothing else seems to work, what is your last resort close? Today, Sean Gardner, instructor and sales trainer at the Joe Verde Group, joins us to break down an effective closing strategy that will work. There's no question. And Sean always brings great content, great closing techniques and skills. So thank you, Sean, so much for joining us. You know, it's that one time that you're like, okay, I kind of need that last resort, so to speak. That close that I can really get one more shot at this customer and closing them today. So what say you on that topic?
Well, Jim, when we talk about a last resort close that works, we're talking about a close that can keep your sale moving forward. I mean, that's the goal, isn't it? To keep it moving forward. I mean, last thing you want to be is DIW. We say that in our workshop, DIW, dead in the water, right? If you're dead in the water, you got nothing else to say to the customer. You're this close at giving them your business card. Or in our workshop, we call that a dismissal slip because that's basically what we're doing, right?
That's right.
So we got to keep the sale moving forward. That's the key. You know, I like what Joe Verde says when it comes to the true definition of closing. You know, a lot of us, I was taught, maybe you were taught, Jim, I know you were taught. We thought the definition of closing was, you know, you get them at the desk and maybe you say, listen, if we can get the figures agreeable, you know, is this the car you guys would want to buy and drive home today? But that's not closing. Joe's definition of closing, the true definition of closing, is any question you ask or anything you do that keeps the sale moving forward, okay? So look, when it comes to the close, you do a great job with the customer. They feel real comfortable with you. They're comfortable with your store. You got them excited about the car. Maybe you even got them to the write-up. You showed them some numbers. You went back and forth a little bit. You felt like you were struggling. Maybe the manager came in and they always make that positive difference. But for some reason or another, no matter what you say, this customer said, listen, like I said, we didn't plan on buying anything today. We want to shop around a little bit. And you've ran out of ideas. Right. That's where, and I hope you write this down, Joe's lost sale close comes into play. Okay. The lost sale, I love the lost sale close, Jim, because you're basically leveling with the customer. Okay, check it out. Customer says, hey, we need to shop around. We're not going to do anything today. Like I said in the beginning, and that's okay, Bob. I get that. All right. If you need some time, I'll be here. But you guys for surely do like the car, don't you? Well, Bob, before you go, what I'd like to know is, you know, I make my living doing this, right? And I try to learn something from every sale, especially on the ones I don't make. Bob, if there's just one thing I did wrong or left out, what was it? So I don't make the same mistake with another customer. And then just be quiet and let the customer talk.
Right.
That's it.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, could the customer say, no, you've been great and all. We just wanted that third row. Could they say that?
Yep.
I mean, well, guess what? We just moved the sale forward now, didn't we?
Yep.
Okay. We got something to work with. Hey, Jim, could the customer say, I need more money for my trade. If you can give me 500 more for my trade, I'll do it. Could they say that?
Happens all the time.
Yeah. So what that lost sales close does is help you move it forward. That's it. Now, Jim, here's the thing. Is the lost sales close, is that a trick close?
No, it's trying to find out more and really find out what the true objection is, right?
Yes, exactly. It gives you something to keep it moving forward. But check it out, okay? There is deep down, and if you're watching this, you know there's no such thing as a trick close, right? Okay? What we do, Jim, is we load salespeople and managers up with effective tools that they can use out on the lot when they close and in the negotiations, so we can put more car deals together with higher gross and at the same time give the customer a better buying experience.
Right.
But nothing works unless you're flawless with that selling process, right? That's where the magic happens, is within the selling process.
Right.
You know, a lot of times I think, especially today, because prices have gone up, I mean, there's some rebates and things going on, but customers are a little tougher, and I get that. But because of the prices, I think a lot of us, we've gotten too price focused in the selling process.
Yeah.
Okay. And we need to get back on track to being more, like Joe says, value focused. Every customer, every time.
That's right.
That's the key.
That's right.
You know what? That's why I like the Joe Verde selling process.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, it's designed to warm up the customer, help them feel comfortable. It's designed to get the customer excited about the vehicle. And it's designed to get the customer thinking now, and it's based on value.
That's right. And I think it's important what you said earlier about ask that question and then be quiet and let them answer the question. If you continue and you give them multiple choice, which a lot of people will go to, is it price? Is it the payment? Is it the interest rate? Is it the trade allowance? It might not have been any of those things. But now you're bringing them up and they're like, well, you just brought up price. So you can lower the price, you can lower the payment, you can do. So I think it's important to your point you made earlier, which I totally agree with. You need to ask that one question and then do not give them multiple choice, because you might be the one that is hurting that sale right there. Because then especially if you're talking to a husband and wife or a couple, and they start to work on each other and they go, well, wait a minute, he or she just brought up price, or they brought up interest rate, or they brought up gas mileage or whatever. And you're like, now I'm dealing with an objection I didn't even have 5 minutes ago, right?
Yes. And you're no longer dead in the water. Here's the thing though, and I have salespeople say this to me, and I'm going to wrap it up with this, okay? Salesperson says, I do all that. I say, is it the color, the equipment? Is it the price? I do all that, and they still want to shop around.
Yeah.
They're just not ready to buy. And that's where the lost sales close comes into play. One more time so they can hear it, okay? Bob, if you need some time, I get that, okay? But I make my living doing this, right? And I do try to learn something from every sale, especially on the ones I don't make. Bob, if there's just one thing it did wrong or left out, what was it? Just so I don't make the same mistake with another customer.
Right.
And what it is it's just another way to get them talking, to give you something to work with. Like you said, check this out. One last thing. We did a huge workshop. Had a salesperson say his customer wanted to shop. He texted me when he was with the customer. My customer said they wanted to shop 5 different stores. I did one of your tools. He says, I'm delivering the car right now. I'm so pumped. So, hey, we need to get more value focused, and we need more tools to turn shoppers into a buyer. And that's what Joe Verde's all about.
There's no question about it. And, I think it was Joe Verde that said, you don't lose a deal on a few dollars, you lose it on a few words, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is exactly what he's talking about. Every top salesperson I know and I interview, they always say the same thing. Stick to the basics and you'll be fine. Now, if you haven't been taught those basics, folks, you need to get into training. Of course, Joe Verde is a great way to do that. But it really is. Would you agree with that statement, that it's when we get away from the basics in this industry that we find ourselves in hot water?
Well, Jim, Joe Verde's selling process is specifically designed to build the momentum to increase your odds of delivering a vehicle.
That's right.
Today.
That's
so
right.
I'm pumped. I couldn't have said it better myself. You're the man, Jim.
All the information is right here. How to get a hold of Joe Verde. You're a click away from changing your showroom. Sean Gardner, thank you once again. Appreciate it. I know that our audience loves when you're on, so thanks so much.
Absolute honor, sir.
Thanks.